Hello! In this video, I am going to present to you an experiment about enzymes and how it affects biological molecules. So first, I'll introduce to you the materials and specimen. For our enzyme, we used pure mango fruit juice. For our protein, we used a boiled egg cut in half. For our carbohydrates, we used 2 slices of loaf bread stacked together that was cut to become smaller like the boiled egg. For our fat, we used filled cheese that was also cut for all the specimens to have similar sizes. Then, for our container, we used 3 clear glasses. Second, the questions. In our experiment, we created 3 questions. For question number 1, what would happen if the bread was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour? For question number 2, what would happen if the boiled egg that was cut in half was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour? And for question number 3, what would happen if the filled cheese was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour? These questions have one purpose, and that is to determine the effect of the pure mango fruit juice as an enzyme to 3 different biological molecules. Third, let's go to the hypothesis. We formulated 3 hypotheses, each answering one of the questions mentioned previously. For hypothesis number 1, if the bread was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then the bread will be completely dissolved. For hypothesis number 2, if the boiled egg was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then the yolk of the boiled egg will be partially deformed. For hypothesis number 3, if the filled cheese was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then no changes will occur to the filled cheese. Now, let's go to the experiment itself. After preparing the materials and the specimen, here they are. Here is the bread before, the boiled egg before, and the filled cheese before. Then, I put them in the container with the pure mango fruit juice to let them submerge for 1 hour. After 30 minutes, this is what they look like: the bread, the boiled egg, and the filled cheese. Finally, after an hour, here they are. The bread, the boiled egg, and the filled cheese.
Now that the actual experiment is done, let us go to the conclusion and analyze our data. First, after 30 minutes. For the bread, it is hard to tell if the bread has changed its size after being submerged in the mango juice for 30 minutes. It can only be seen that it has been completely soaked and absorbed some of the juices. For the boiled egg after 30 minutes, there is not much of a difference than what it looked like before being submerged, other than the crevices in the yolk being more visible. For the filled cheese after 30 minutes, just like the egg, not much of a difference can be seen, if not none at all.
Second, after 1 hour. After 1 hour, the reaction decreased the size of the bread. Going back to hypothesis number 1, it states that if the bread was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then the bread will be completely dissolved. Comparing the data obtained for the bread after 1 hour, the bread apparently was just partially dissolved, not completely. Given this, hypothesis number 1 is rejected. For the boiled egg after 1 hour, there was no change to the egg white. However, it can be seen that a small part of the yolk has detached. Seeing this, the form of the yolk is not what it was before. Simply put, it got partially deformed. Our hypothesis number 2 states that if the boiled egg was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then the yolk of the boiled egg will be partially deformed. Thus, the data supports hypothesis number 2. For the filled cheese, after being submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, no change can be seen, especially in shape, which would most help distinguish the result of the reaction. If we return to hypothesis number 3, it states that if the filled cheese was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then no changes will occur to the filled cheese. Given this data, hypothesis number 3 is accepted. Finally, let's go to the results. After conducting the experiment, the data has shown that out of 3 hypotheses, hypothesis number 2 and 3 were correct and hypothesis number 1 was not. To recap, the egg yolk has certainly been deformed partially. Therefore, hypothesis number 2 is correct. Nevertheless, there is still one more factor that we believe why the egg yolk has partially deformed: by being wet. Once more for the filled cheese, no changes occurred, hence making hypothesis number 3 true. Now, for hypothesis number 1, it states that if the bread was submerged in the pure mango fruit juice for 1 hour, then the bread will be completely dissolved. However, the bread did not completely dissolve. For this reason, hypothesis number 1 is incorrect. However, the juice did partially dissolve the bread. From this result, we can conclude that the mango juice most likely needed more time to completely dissolve the bread. All things considered, we also think that greater amount of mango juice should have been used for the bread to be completely dissolved, as well as for the whole experiment for fairness. Now, all 3 questions from the beginning have been answered. For question number 1, the bread decreased its size after being submerged in the mango fruit juice for 1 hour. For question number 2, the yolk of the egg got partially deformed, but nothing significant happened to the egg. For the last question, question number 3, no change can be seen from the cheese after being submerged for 1 hour. In addition, the bread representing carbohydrate was the only specimen with significant change as a result of the experiment. Even though hypothesis number 1 was incorrect, we can still conclude that the mango juice plausibly has amylase, an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates. With the data and information previously stated, this finishes our experiment. Thank you for watching!